American Water Polo.
Hi, this is Damon Newman from American Water Polo, and we're here today to profile the club team Shy Water Polo. And we're going to check out Mac Varilla and see how he's been doing. How you doing, Mac?
I'm doing well, Damon. Thanks for
Excellent,
having me.
excellent. Good to hear. So tell me a little bit about the club, where you guys are located, the age groups you run, and maybe the mission of the program.
Absolutely. We're based in Chicago. We primarily train out of Northeastern Illinois University's Aldi Pool. We partner up with a couple local swim organizations. Big One Swim Club and Shy Water Polo collaborates at Jones to offer swimming and water polo. Last summer, we're training out of Wheelan Park. It's a forest preserve on the border of Niles and Chicago on the northwest side. We partnered up with them. We got some training in there. We established officially in 2013. It all started with three athletes. Three athletes I was coaching at the time that just wanted to get better, wanted to play the sport off season. I got in touch with you, I believe, in the fall or winter, and officially started the club. Our club's mission is just to grow the sport of water polo and just provide a great opportunity for all the participants of any walks of life just to learn and grow. I have had a great experience playing water polo as a youth, but it wasn't very organized. I found myself find myself playing on masters teams, on driving up to Glenview, driving out to USC, and didn't really have a structured age group. So when the opportunity arose, I thought, let's start one up. Let's do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. Yeah, I know your club has grown tremendously, in that 7 years, really. You've grown from, like you said, three athletes, and now you have a lot of young men and women that you're training, and that's really great to see.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, so with it, we have three different age groups. Right now, during the spring, we'd have our youth middle school. During the high school season, our boys and girls are in the IHSA season. That goes on from the end of February to mid-May. And then we have a senior women's team that plays in the summertime, and then we have a master teams. They don't really get to train. I'm part of that master team. We just jump in on local tournaments and stuff.
Great. Yeah, there's a pretty good number of masters teams in the Greater Chicago area, which is really great to see, since there is so much water polo being played, obviously on the age group level and on the high school level. So it's good to see that the masters are still staying strong.
Mm-hmm.
So now I know. Take me through, what have you been doing lately? I know you got a lot of time on your hands right now with the COVID outbreak. What have you been doing to keep yourself busy? Take me through what your day's been like.
Okay, so I was in a pretty good routine going into the COVID outbreak and pandemic. I just try to maintain that routine as much as possible. It's been really difficult to stay on that same schedule, like going hour to hour, place to place. So what I've done is I just made a checklist, and just today I got to knock out these things. I think the first thing is just making sure that I take care of myself. Just make sure I'm moving, working out. I'm actually improved my fitness, not being away from the pool deck, because now I can just focus all that energy and just something I can control, which is hit the weights, work out, move around in the house. I've been eating a lot cleaner, been forced to cook.
Good, that's awesome.
Yeah, throughout the season, and coaches are notorious for this. We'll go out, like if you're going from a tournament to tournament, you don't really have time to cook and prepare meals, especially me. So I've been able to prepare meals and eat a lot cleaner and healthier. So I'll cook at least twice a day, and then stay in touch with my athletes as much as possible. They're really busy. I know a lot of them are really busy with like school and other things involved. And I send a daily remind message out to our high school club and my high school girls program at Jones Payton. And something short,
Excellent.
just like I think I might see like a video, I just share it out, send a blast out. I might see like there was like this thing on college, I'll send that out. Anything I see, I'll just share it out.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they're seeing it or reading it or checking it out, but it's worth a shot, and just keep them engaged to our sport, and just let them know like we can still learn, we can still stay connected.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
think I think that is important. Like you said, your athletes, you have been contacting your athletes, and you talk about sending your
mhm.
daily reminders out. How have how are they holding up collectively? I mean, have you had a chance to touch base?
Yeah, so I've touched base with a few of them, especially some of the upperclassmen. I think it's mixed. I know a lot of the upperclassmen I've seen it. They put a lot of work in. They put a lot of hours into getting better. Um, some are quite heartbroken.
Right.
Um, some are using. We're trying to use the season to actually get get looks and stuff. It's tough. It's been tough. I think majority of our club members, especially on the high school girls side, are sophomores. I thought they were going to use the season to really show what they got and prove. So it's kind of difficult, difficult time. I think a lot of the younger athletes are just like the freshmen, in particular, just like what's going on,
Right. Yeah, it
like
might not as affect them as
right as
they don't have
junior,
that
senior,
perspective of this could potentially be my last year, or
yeah.
I'm only going to have one more year after this. I guess depending upon where you are
Hmm.
throughout high school.
Hmm.
Um, I know that there's a lot of information out there. Have you been? You talked a little bit about sending things out. Have you been? Supplying your athletes with places to go to see videos, or what have you been doing that way? I know I've checked you out on Instagram. You guys are pretty active. So tell me what that's been looking like for you.
So I'd share. There's a couple things I'd share. I follow Mamba Sports Academy out of California. They've
Okay.
been doing a really good job on doing daily sports performance workouts that don't require any weights or any equipment at all.
Mamba Sports
Um,
Academy.
yes, Mamba Sports Academy. I've been sending that out. They've been doing a great job on sending daily content, and some done by professional trainers and that have sport in mind, not just just building muscle or it's very specific. And I think what I've seen is it's very applicable to the sport of water polo. Um, I share things out that some Olympians, elite athletes have done. There was this core routine that Caleb Dressel
Okay.
uh, did on YouTube. I loved it. I sent that out. It was him and one of his teammates getting their core exercise in, and the workouts from one of their professional strength coaches. Like you're getting world class training in
Yeah. Yeah. You
in the
certainly are.
screen.
There's
Yeah,
I think that there's a lot of information out there, but it seems like you're doing a really good job of filtering it.
yeah.
Um, and so you have a really great opportunity to get remotely trained by Mamba Sports Academy, or an amazing core workout. So it's
Hmm.
certainly a unique time.
Right.
um, so can you tell me something that like what do you miss most about not being on the pool deck with the athletes?
The energy. There's a lack of energy in my life for sure. Um, it's like I'm at the pool a lot, so not being at the pool, um, there's like a lack of energy in my life. I know it's for me growing up, it was like your safe haven. It's your safety zone or your habitat. I know for a lot of my athletes, that's what they look forward to towards the day or at the end of the night, or um, that's where they can kind of be themselves. Without so, I really just miss the energy. Been around my staff, been around athletes. Um, just miss being chlorine, you know.
Yeah, yeah, you know, you right, right. You spend so much time there. You certainly you don't realize that sometimes you'll miss it when it's when you're not have well, you don't have the accessibility, and like you said, there's young people and the energy that brings, and the coaching and the feel that you get
Yeah.
when you're working with when you're working with student athletes.
Hmm.
So, final thing, Mac, can you give any good book recommendations for?
Yeah, absolutely. Not many people know this, but I still continue playing water polo. I as a coach, athlete or yeah, athlete coach. I like to look at the eyes of an athlete. A really good book I really recommend to younger athletes is by Dr. Jim Afternow. It's called The Champion's Mind. It's has a sends a great message on what it takes to get to the next level, the rise of elite athletes or top athletes that aspire to get better. Um, a lot of the mental side of sports. It takes a deep dive on just mindset. I think that's a great book for young athletes to read, especially during this pandemic. Uh, just just because we can't train physically, we can still
Right.
train mentally. I think the biggest thing that I would like to share is you can still train your nervous system. You can still train your mental game, so that you can get better. I took time off away from playing in tournaments and playing playing water polo. I took probably like a couple of years off, but
Yeah.
just being around, exposed, and observing and watching and reading. I Yeah, it might be hard getting back in like physical aerobic shape, but I'm able to visualize and do moves that I saw somebody else do, or maybe there's this tip I read about in this book. Maybe I could approach the game like that. I think it's a great opportunity for athletes to just get their mindset in the right in the right place despite the circumstances of the pandemic.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that, like you said, that it's adding another layer of your training, right? You're like you
mhm,
said, you can't be in the water physically, but yeah, you can think about the game or you can watch the game. You're forced to, some
mhm,
athletes might not absorb the game as much as others. Everyone has the opportunity to sit down and watch high level water polo
right.
on YouTube or whatever avenue they'd like to be able to see that type of play and pick up a skill, read a new book. I think that's really great. That's
Right, right.
nice.
There's one thing definitely I suggest the athletes check out in the book. It just talks about like pregame routines. I go a lot of tournaments and games and stuff, and I see kids that just like do a bunch of these and don't really get their body warmed up to play a high paced game. It talks about like pregame routines or rituals that these athletes do, like uh, the warm up before the warm up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thought that was a really good part in the book. It's just like talking about routines and what they do just to prepare. So I think it's a good book to
Yeah.
prepare for when we're ready to get to the pool or when we
Yeah.
go back to the pool.
Yeah. It sounds like there's a lot of really great learning opportunities for athletes in that book. What's that sounds great. Say the title again.
The Champion's Mind by Dr. Jim Afrenow.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, he's a
Excellent.
sports psychologist. There's some great athletes that are mentioned. All he does is study high level athletes, and the rise, the falls, what to do, what they've done through injury. I read something about about him talk about injury, but still, like an injured athlete, they should still engage their mind.
Mm.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's how we have to treat it. We might have to treat uh, the current situation like we're all injured.
Yeah.
We can't play. What can we do? So
Yeah,
it
that's
goes
a
really
really
good.
good point.
Yeah,
Really
that
good
dives
point.
detail. I really recommend that book.
Cool. Well, by the time we're all back in the pool, there's going to be a list of books, and there's probably going to be a couple new ones on my bookshelf from recommendations from coaches like yourself that I'm gonna dive into, and that sounds like a really good one.
Hmm.
Hey, Mac, I really appreciate the time that you spent this afternoon to have a chat with us. We love learning more about Shy Water Polo Club. This is Damon Newman from American Water Polo. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and our website, AmericanWaterPolo.org. And remember, it's important to stay connected to what's important to you.